Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I'm Jewel, and as you can see we're on the 10.0.3 version of Giants editor for Farming Simulator 25. Today we're going to do a tutorial on how to use the replace option, and I'm not talking about the replace option over here in this little brush type area. I'm talking about the one over here. Let's get over here to it. Where's it at? In the edit section, and then you would click replace. Now what this is going to do for you is a lot of different things. It lets you pick an item that you want to replace a bunch of other items on your map, or just one item. So it depends on what you really want. Uh, you can see it has a replace all. That will be all the items that you chose, or just the one item you chose. And then you have to go through and pick which one you want to do. So what we're going to do is we pick this tree, this little uh, berry tree, and we're going to change it, and this is the one we're wanting the other trees to become. Okay, so not all the trees, but all the trees we select in this box here. So now we need to find another tree that we want to replace. So let me see. So that's a little tree, a little berry. So we got to make sure we get a different tree. I think we should do this big tree. What is it? Did I click it all the way? It's up here. There it is. So that's definitely a hickory. Okay. So we've clicked on it. So now we can click on this box to get it in there. And I think we click it. It says show in scene graph. And then this says take scene graph selection. So you click take scene graph selection that's highlighted, and it'll put that tree in here. So this is the one that's going to be replaced, and we're going to replace this tree with this first tree that we put in there in the first box, which was that little tree somewhere over there. So now this suddenly is going to change to a little tree. So watch it change. But first we need to go ahead and pick what we want to keep. So we want to keep, it says, do you want to keep the user attributes? I believe in these instances you would, because you want to keep whichever tree it is you're going to put there. You're not wanting to change that. So I'm going to say yes to the physics and the user attributes. And the clip distance is just how far away before you can see the tree you are. The names, okay, so like the name of the tree. Do we want the name of the tree to change? Well, since it's going to be a different tree, you want it to change. But this is asking, do you want to keep it? So in this case, we would not keep the name. Well, actually, we don't want to keep the name here is what it's trying to say. So I'll show you. You'll notice it. It'll change the name to this tree up here, berry. So suddenly this tree here that's called a hickory will be called a berry, because it's going to be that, because we're replacing it. Okay, and then locked groups. I hadn't noticed any real change. I'd have to look. It depends on what you're doing before when you use that. Then we have replace mode, node ID, the name, and the selection. This one, I think, I'm not sure if this was on the other one. I'd have to play around with that a little more. But let's just click once on the replace button to do that one tree, and you'll see this tree change. So, see, well, actually I got it backwards. It says one node has been replaced, and it replaced the little tree with this tree. It took this tree and it swapped them, it looks like. No, it took that one and made that other tree this. So that's what it did. Let me look at the list, and it's still called a hickory. So let me see what we got here. Maybe we should swap these. So let's do this again. You could copy it and put it down here, and then we'll click back on there. Oh, it won't let me. Alright, so we're going to have to click on it to do it. But what we'll do is, since it's already selected, click it up here. And now on this one, we'll delete that. Or we can just pick a new one in the list. Let's click on one, this little tree, and see what it looks like. Okay, that's a box elder. So we'll click it for the replace one. And click that. So let's try it this way. So now we're going to say replace that. So it should put the box elder one. See, watch. It's gonna turn the box elder into the hickory. So basically, I had it flipped. So when I set it backwards because I had it upside down basically. The one we replaced was the box elder. We want it, and the hickory was the one we started with. So whatever you start with, whatever you want to replace it to, just call it replace it to this. Start with this, replace that one to this. Just think of it that way. The way I said it the first time was backwards. All right, and so then you can play around with the different modes and see what names change and what happens. You can see that the name changed. So if we was to back it up, you would see it went back to the other tree name, whatever it was, hickory or whatever. So now if you want to replace all of those types of trees, so all the hickories, if I can find another hickory. Okay, that's a hickory over there, I believe. This one. And all the other ones looks like this. I think that's one. If we want them to turn into that, then we're going to hit replace all. So now when I hit replace all, it's going to replace all of those trees. So watch them disappear. This one and whichever one's on the map, and the entire map. And you could crash your Giants editor, so be careful doing this because it's a lot of function that the computer's got to do. So hit replace all. Give it a second. It says source or target node could not be found. Okay, so we didn't set it up. It's like no. All right. So let's see what we got here. Maybe we need to swap these again. So how about we put this one here and then change this one, whichever it is. I gotta get closer to click it. Nope, it's not letting me click on it. There we go. And now we'll change this one to that. Now we'll click replace all. So it's going to change it. It's going to change the box elders. It's actually going to do the opposite. These box elders over here, these little trees, it's going to change them to hickories. So we're going to hit replace all. Okay, it says, are you sure you want to replace 892 nodes? Now, this instance, I'm going to say no, because I don't want my computer to crash. But that's how you do it. Or should we do it? I'm going to say yes, just so we can show you that either it'll crash or it won't. But your computer could, or at least your Giants editor. So I'm taking a risk here. Let's go for it. Hit yes. Okay. Alright, so nothing happened. It changed them. All the box elders, see, they suddenly became those big hickory trees. So just remember that order. You need to put it, the one you want to change, the tree you want to change, on the top. The tree you want it to change to, you put it on the bottom. So if you want the hickory tree to be all over the map and you get rid of the box elders, then you would put it like I got it here. You can pick any one of those trees and do it that way. And all those trees changed. 800, it said 92 trees. It told you how many it is. So there you go. That's probably one easy way of counting your trees if you didn't already have it set in there, because I think they already added that. But you can also use this with other things. It doesn't have to be trees. Anything you want to replace. Say you got signs. I don't know if that would be the best thing, or fences even. Let me think. I could do a sign. I think that would make more sense. We'll change this sign. Let's just pretend, because we're just showing it can do other things. Pretend we're going to change that sign with all these. Let me find the other sign. Where's another sign? Oh, we're coming off the map. I think that's the same sign. Okay, I gotta go find a sign. Ain't no stop sign. Here's a stop sign. There we go. All those authorized vehicles are going to turn into, or vice versa. All the authorized vehicle signs are going to turn into a stop sign, I believe is what it's going to be. So I'm going to click this one. Then we're going to click this little button up here where it says take scene graph selection. I'm going to click that. Now we're going to hit replace all. It says are you sure you want to replace one node? Okay, if that's what you're the only one you're replacing. And then it should have put where we were at. Let's try to find our way back. It should have turned that one into a stop sign. Was I over here at the lumber mill? I was at the lumber. Here it is. And this one over here, right there. Remember? This is the one. It turned it to a stop sign. So you see, it changes whichever one. So if you want to change billboards, say you pick one billboard, we'll pick this one. Let's go look at it so we'll know. Whatever that is, a cookie. And then we'll go find another billboard. So we want to change all the billboards to another billboard. I don't know which one. We could put this one just so we have something. Alright, we'll pick this one. And then we'll place it with this. So we want to place all of them. So all these are going to be replacing the first one we just did, the cookie one. And it says, do you want to do it? Yeah. So now we have to go back to the cookie one, if I could even find it. Back to the sawmill, I think would be the easiest way to find it. We're close. We're close. It should be right up here. There it is. See, it put it down though because it was a different height. But you can see there, it's right there. So it changed that cookie one to that. So you see, it'll change things. Now that one was on. I should have did a billboard that was on the ground, and it would have worked. But since that one was on a building, didn't have a pole, that's why I put it to the ground. But you can do that with whatever else you want, whatever you're trying to change. Say probably even houses and things, but you don't want to get nothing, a whole group of nothing. But whatever you need to change one from another, or a bunch of things from one to a bunch of other things, use the replace option. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and call that. Maybe it'll get more into detail later if we begin to use it for some reason, but I don't usually have to use this. It's not something I even fool with because I'm just be building a map, so I'm not really going to be replacing things. I guess if you're working on maps that you converted, maybe you would be using it a little bit more, something like that. But anyway, we're going to call that here. Appreciate everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.